Good evening, Jamie here. Today's been a good day. Feeling a little relaxed and not as stressed, I didn't expect to be stressed out coming, so I'm thankful that I'm not. Some new learning insights that I gained from today. The mindfulness exercise was really good. I thought that it really helped me relax. I know we were late getting here and it was a little chaotic, and can't really do anything to change it. But just coming and kind of sitting down and taking in those deep breaths. I guess I didn't realize how much just breathing in and breathing out actually helps. But I felt really calm and able to just, when Professor Mayfield said to go to a place, I felt like I was able to go there. Went to my living room last night. I was just kind of preparing, and I think I might have been watching the end of Secondhand Lions, and the kids came in, and they're all like, we love this movie, and sat down, and so was my husband and all three of the kids there, and we're just kind of all around watching the movie. And they asked me what I was doing for school, and told them I was doing observing behaviors, and so we got to talk about behaviors, and it was just kind of a nice time. So then we prayed with them, and they said that they would miss me, and said our goodbyes because I left early this morning, so I didn't get to see them. But I just felt really content. So, and that's kind of how I felt when I was doing that exercise. So that was kind of relaxing and nice. And then just behaviors in general, watching that movie and like actually paying attention. Like I think it would be cool to have your diagnosis book and your DSM and watching TV and stuff like that. So just knowing that behaviors are going all the time and they're observable. We just need to be, paying attention to them and things like that. It can tell us a lot about our clients. I think I realized that today, just because I wrote down a lot of things, but there were still people who saw things that I didn't see. And, like some things I had written that were behaviors maybe weren't really behaviors, or not good clinical terms. And so that was good to see how it could be said differently in a more clinical sense, and I know that's going to help me in the future. I guess learning to really look for them was a big deal for me. And if I was going to apply that to my life and my work experience and things like that, I could really use that with clients. How many times do they come in the office and sit down and they're agitated or fidgety, and and I'm not really paying attention to all that. So I think that made me more aware where I can pay attention. Another thing, as I was thinking about behaviors, we have girls that come in, and I work in an inpatient facility for recovering drug addicts, and sometimes they come in, and I've heard some of the other counselors say, so-and-so's a good client. They'll come and let us know if you need to know what's going on. They know who's done what, who's done this, and they're tattling. And the girls probably, as they're doing it, now that I'm thinking about it, they might think I'm going to be well liked amongst the staff and things like that. I'm looking out for other people, whatever they're thinking. But really, it's a behavior on their part, because it may be them deflecting from themselves by telling on someone else, or it may be them manipulating the counselor or the situation. So it just kind of made me more aware, I think, when I'm interacting with them, to look at it. Our executive director said one day that we take the girls to AA meetings, and he had said one day, you come back, and he calls them sidewise, their addiction coming out sideways. But just like they'll come back from an AA meeting and complain about something, like something that had nothing to do with it, a smell that they smelled there, or just anything. And he said, that in his opinion and his experience, a lot of times that's them taking the focus off themselves, and that could be the start to their relapse right then and there. So, just paying attention to those behaviors, and it may not be, it may just, they're complaining and they're going to let it go, but just, observing that. I think I'm a little bit more aware of that. And then the notes, like I write notes, but they have their own note. And so I really like the DAPO, the data assessment plan, and outcome. And I think I really like the outcome. I wonder if they don't use that over an outpatient at my job. So I'm gonna kind of look over there and see if they have something different. But I know because the clients only come in there once a week for individual outpatient counseling, and then they come for groups and stuff like that. But the girls that I work with are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we observe them more than just 1 hour a day. But I really like how that note was. It was very not easy to do, but it made more sense, I think, whenever I was trying to complete it with my group today. The notes that we do kind of just ask for our impression of the session. Like if it's an individual note, it's just kind of basically what happened in there. And then there's a line at the bottom that asks, it says impression and observation, I think, or assessment, impression and then assessment. And so they're looking for like what stage of change do we think that the client might be in just from that session, not overall, but just what we observed from the session that we had. But this whole behavior terminology, it's kind of funny because we had a staff meeting and our executive director said we really need to be using more behavior words. And he said that the board that is over us, is going to be really looking when they come check the charts and we get audited. They're going to be looking for things like that. So, that was good for me to be able to pay attention to that in the movie because it really made me more aware of it. And I think I'm going to pay more attention to a client that comes in and is very fidgety or seems overly irritated, has some body language that might be aggressive or is not wanting to answer questions and, just maybe just crying the whole entire session, and just kind of try to note those things in the case notes. And I really haven't been trained very well on doing case notes, so it's kind of just a trial by error, so this has really helped me out quite a bit today going over that and just getting to interact with the professors and Dr. France, just getting to and interact as a group, looking at those behaviors and then taking that and looking at the DSM as opposed to looking at the DSM first and trying to make the behaviors fit the diagnosis that we might have thought our client had. We actually didn't even think about it like that. Our group just kind of started with the behaviors and and then went from there, and that seemed to work the best for us. I think some tools, that I can take from today especially are, better observing clients. Like I said, pay attention to those little things. And then also in the role plays, I maybe haven't been always observant, whenever we're doing role plays. I know when we were here in August, I was a client for someone and Professor Mayfield was there, and whoever, I can't remember, I think it was Destiny, had asked me a question, and every time that they talked about my family, he said my foot would like move, and I didn't even notice that it did it, but he was paying attention to that. And so just, even in role play, trying to see if there's anything going on and bring that up, in the middle of the session. So I think that's going to be a very valuable tool, pay attention to body language and things like that. And then also the mindfulness exercises that we did today. I think that could be very, very beneficial because, even just a relaxation, even if you didn't do anything else, even if I just did a relaxation technique, that would be very beneficial to my clients. And let's see, the self-assessment scale, I'm going to do a 1 being I could have done better, not 1 not as good, and a 5 being the best that I could do. So I'm going to give myself a 3 today. I could have talked more whenever Professor Mayfield asked who wanted to share about the mindfulness. I wanted to be the first one to answer, and I didn't, and I sat there and I let someone else answer first, and then I didn't even answer. And so I want to be better about that. I know I can. And in our group, I did ask questions of the professors that came by. I did ask questions of the group. I did talk in the group, but I could be more assertive and more vocal. So I know that I can do better with that, and I'm going to work on that for tomorrow. But I give myself a 3 because I did open up and talk in the group time. So I guess that's it. I will see you tomorrow.